If you were to segment into three key audiences, and I know it's issue dependent, but
Mhm.
who might be in those segmentations?
Sure. I do think sometimes we do approach our communication strategy if we have general messages for a general audience, but it's important for us to peel back those layers, to your point, of specific audience segments that we want to reach because we need to tailor our messaging, tailor our content to those specific audiences. A few of those audiences who come to mind, we have our fandom. I would consider that the NASA super fans. I mean, whatever we do, they're going to love it. They're going to give us all the likes and shares on social media as an example. There are our biggest advocates and brand ambassadors, and so we already have those folks in the fold. And while it's important to again share content that keeps them excited, and speaking great things about NASA and helping spread the word, it's important for us to also have tactics and strategies to reach folks who are not within the fold.
Mhm.
And so I would consider that audience segment maybe untapped. And so those are audience segments, maybe those individuals who don't live near a NASA center. So NASA isn't a part of their, everyday sightings, as an example. And so those untapped audiences, we have to make intentional decisions to go out and to explore where they are and meet them where they are. And that's where I find a lot of excitement along my colleagues. It's a challenge, right? Of figuring out, okay, who are these untapped communities? What inspires them? What motivates them? What are they interested in? How do we connect with them? So another audience segment that, of course, is really important. Partners and stakeholders, right? Because everything that
Right.
NASA does, we do as a team. We're working with other government agencies. We're working with elected officials. We're working with other commercial space partners. We're working with even small businesses, right? And so that's an audience segment that we have to communicate. How do we work together? How do we shape our messaging to talk about kind of that symbiotic relationship between NASA, this huge bureaucratic organization, and those various partners and stakeholders? And of course, another audience segment that I think every government agency has is those influential decision makers, the folks who are deciding day in and day out what our priorities are. And so for us, if our priority is going back to the moon, right, with the first woman and first person of color, as communicators, it's important for us to develop comp strategies centered around this to talk about the value and importance of why are we going to the moon again? Why is this important? What do we get out of this? What do we stand to benefit from going to the moon? And people who may say we've already been to the moon, we don't need to go there again. But explaining to them in our comm strategy, hey, we explored one portion of the moon, right? We're going to a place we haven't explored, and so those are just a few of the audience segments, kind of peeling back those layers of specific people who we want to reach.